That's just, there's no other reason for it. We all know how to type. So, let's see, what else are you if you eat meat? Oh, and if it's male meat, say most of them are unless it's like chickens or something. I think those are like old hens that are rotten and on their last leg. Then they're the ones you eat, but that's about the only thing. Everything else is males because females are the breeders, like cows, pigs, and all the big animals. So they're, yeah. So that would be make you homosexual. So you're homosexual, bestiality practicing, child molesting, necrophiliac. I know there's some other I forget. I have to think about it for a while to remember it. Because I don't go around thinking about it. I just can't understand why people eat meat. And they just get led around by government, by religion, by education system. You could ask them any of these questions and the person would say, well, that's not real. Here's what God said. No, our government says right here that you take them to a facility and then you chop them up and then we eat them. You put them on this barbecue that you buy and you pay taxes on it and all the taxes and tax and then you tax and then you get a tax and we tax and then we get tax and tax and I'm just saying, don't eat meat. Who cares if you get wimpy? Means you ain't going to war. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. People are eating meat because we came from animals and we feel weak and we think the only way to get strong. I mean, look at elephants, look at rhinoceros, look at giraffe, look at all these mammals that are huge. And rhinoceros eats like little itty bitty freaking leaves and some range grass, dried up range grass. I mean, it's freaking rhinoceros. Look at them freaking things. And they're huge. And then they show an elephant that'll eat a fish. And it's like, oh, well, now we know that elephants consume large quantities of fish. They might as well be whales breaching, and they probably blow bubbles under there to get the fish to go up so that then they could jump in the lake and the swollen pond and come up underneath them like a whale. And then the elephant breaches out of the water and whips its trunk around, catching fish in there, so and throwing it in the ones that are trying to escape. And that's what his trunk was for the ones that are trying to veer off out of the bubble pool. And that's what the trunk is. It reaches over and grabs and throws them in its mouth. No. That was just a freak elephant, probably around a bunch of people. And who knows why it did, but I don't, they don't do that all the time. And if it did, it was probably trained to, or was probably starved, forced to eat fish or die. And then they said, well, let's let it loose and take a picture of it as it eats fish. Because that's what we taught it. We've trained it to eat fish. But we're not going to put that in the video. We're just going to throw it out there. Because now we know elephants eat, yeah, well. But anyway, people are trying to get the power back. We're from animals, born from animals. Not evolved, born. And the power that you're born with, you don't feel it anymore. But there's something there that you know, or people know that there is like, well, I don't feel strong enough, or whatever. It's because there's a power of animals you're born. In fact, who's saying all these people are born from the same animal? You know, everybody's saying, well, we all are one and came from the same. I don't believe we are. I believe, but anyway, you're eating meat because the basic part of it is. Now you could say that, well, we was used to be gatherers, and then we turned into hunters or scavengers because we followed dogs too far into the wilderness, and we got lost from our blueberry bush, and we no longer have our blueberry bush to eat from, and our mother cow is gone, so we don't have milk anymore, and so now we're out here with the pack of wolves that we've been following, and they're eating this rotten, stinking carcass. But we're so hungry, we're going to eat with them because that's what we see now. So I give you a bunch of different whys we eat meat, but basically it's to get the power back from being born of animals. But you don't get it through. You don't get that power through eating meat. You get a power from being born from them. And there's no way we can. There's no way you can say, well, we're going to change our DNA for. No, it ain't the same thing. You can't be born of something. You can't. It's nothing natural. Humans are working so far away from anything natural. They're trying to make everything a freaking drug or everything a freaking pill, everything unnatural. And then you run into. Then you can walk down. Then everything will be. It'll be such a narrow path of DNA of what people can actually do. It'll. They have to be walking down a tightrope. Because science is we're so broad-minded. What they do is they start out and tell you, well, we know all about this and we're gonna fix this and that, and then you get down the road and well, we thought we was gonna do that, and now we're finding out that we can't do that, and you're just gonna have to suffer along with the rest of us, and so I don't even know what I start talking about. Don't eat meat.